Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday. Woo.
Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk Friday.
Woo. Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk Friday.
Woo. Don't Fekk Friday.
It's going to be fun.
These people were complaining about like these graphics nowadays aren't realistic at all. They look so lame and stuff. And I'm like, geez, go back and play Atari and regular Nintendo. And
Yeah,
so
remember
are now.
8-bit? Yeah, I mean,
Well, there's two differences there, though, right? Mario isn't supposed to look realistic, right? Most old school Nintendo games that they were limited, so none of them were actually supposed to look realistic. Now you're producing cinematic level of video games that are being sold on the idea that they look realistic. So the complaint is a little bit fair in that context.
I mean, to them, but people that like us that grew up with Frogger and stuff, I'm like, yeah, this looks.
Well, I don't think there's any set standard of what photorealism actually entails.
What the fuck?
A few moments later.
But I remember the very first time I beat Super Mario Brothers on the NES. And here's the thing. What you don't understand, Chesh, is like you're playing Super Mario Brothers and you go through 100 levels, and every time you complete a level, you go through like sub levels, and then you have to complete the big level, and you go through a total of 100 levels. Every level predictably gets harder and less chances for you to win. And every time you get to the end of the level, you're like, I saved the princess. Then it says, we're sorry, Mario, your princess is in another castle. And you're like, what kind of crap is this? So you keep playing, and you obsess over this game, trying to, not get eaten by Goombas and jump over fire pits and whatever. And finally, when you finally beat the game, which took me like 9 months to do, the princess comes out, I'm sorry, Mario, your princess is in another castle. Ha ha, jokey. And that is the reward you get for playing 100 levels.
Well, if it makes it feel any better, in the second Mario game, it's all just a dream.
Well,
hi everybody, welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday. I'm here with Vedelia to have a conversation about what went on there and kind of what happened with Twitter and what we're gonna do about it.
Yeah. Oh, first of all, I tried to listen to the video because I thought it was totally different. I thought it was a totally different subject.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, what did you think the subject was?
Well, since you are no longer friends with I know what's his name? That
Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Wow. Go on, yes.
Well, I thought, something that was like, what's the word? Anti-feminism, anti-feminism or something. And like I remember saying that because like 2 years ago, I can't remember what I say. I hardly ever watch my past videos, so I thought I did something bad like that, and like so I apologize for that. And then since, well, for me at least, I feel like I'm invisible. So I'm like, by the way, thanks for the advertisement. And then you thought my apology wasn't real.
I'm kind of confused. So, I'm sorry, can you clear up what you thought this stream was about?
I thought it was about, if we're still friends or not, or acquaintances or not enemies.
Well, right, but that came about because of that video, right? So, don't we have to kind of discuss that video, what went on? Because I agree. So here's the tweet, right? Because this sort of stemmed from this, and this is in response to the video we just watched.
Yes.
And then you said, sorry for that. I honestly didn't mean to be evil. I hope we can still work together in the future.
Yes, I actually didn't hear what I said. I thought I said something stupider than I did say.
So you responded, but you didn't watch the video that you were responding to?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Because after this, you then sent me a message being like, hey, we cool. I was like, yeah, it's fine. And then you were like, oh, well, thanks for the advertisement. So, but you
Yeah,
never,
'cause-
but now you're telling me you never even watched it?
well, I thought it was just. I didn't know. I thought it was worse than it was. I didn't want to see something. Sorry.
Well, what are you
I'm just-
apologizing for?
I just sound stupid. That's why.
What do you mean?
I have no idea anymore.
Apparently. Okay, so in the first place, you essentially thought you had done something that was like bad to women or like said something that was like misogynistic.
I guess because I thought we were talking about video games. I thought we were talking about like, the Anita Sarkeesian stuff from a few years ago and stuff.
Okay, so do you think there was, or let's just stick with what we did watch then. Did you
Okay.
see any problems with this video and what happened here?
With Brad talking about Mario all the time and it's the stuff. Yeah, Brad talks out of his mouth a lot.
Can you like kind of explain like why or what is the problem?
See, we talked about first. We were talking about graphics, and and then he went on about Mario princesses and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
God.
That is what happened. Yes.
God, stupid.
It's like you're not in trouble. I posted this video because I thought it was funny.
Oh, wow! I have, wow! I thought it was just. I don't know what I thought anymore now. Overreacting. I guess it'd be overreacting. I guess this stuff like. I guess
Okay.
it'd be overreacting.
Well, which part is you overreacting? The not watching the video and panicking or something? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, probably because I always think I guess I always think the worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, at least in my brain, I thought, like it's been 2 years now, and we've done stuff together on Dapper Stream and other streams. It's like, oh, oh gosh, she doesn't like me, she hates me now, like, great.
But you didn't look at the video.
Yeah, I know.
And then you argued about it, though. Like, there was a whole
Yeah.
Twitter conversation.
Mm.
So, what do you mean?
I means it means I'm stupid.
No, well, I'm asking, what do you mean, not what does it mean?
What's the question again?
Okay, so let me break this down because some of the audience is confused, and I think everybody's a little bit confused at this point. Me and Vandalia went on to Vandalia's channel to just have like sit down, chill conversation about whatever. We ended up talking about video games. That's the clip we just saw. It's just like a quick 2-minute clip. Then I thought it was funny, and it became a running joke over here and in my Discord for 2 years. And so finally I was like, all right, I got to put this out here because now I've got people coming in that have no idea what this joke is. So I posted it, said, this is mansplaining if you've ever damn well seen it. It's hilarious. And
Oh, that's what I guess when you said that, I guess that's when I got confused.
go on, yeah. What do you mean?
Well, that's you said mansplaining.
Mhm.
I thought I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain. I'm terrible at explaining things.
It's okay, take your time. We're here to work it out.
All right.
No pressure.
Well, as I said, I thought I had said something like mansplaining stuff, I guess, and I thought, and that's what I thought. 'Cause
But
again, I didn't watch it, so I again, I just thought,
okay, but you're not tagged either. You're in the video because it was from your
true.
channel.
Yeah. Excuse me.
So you saw that there was a video that I posted talking about mansplaining.
Yeah.
Saw that you were in the video.
Yeah.
Didn't watch it. Assumed it was about you. Assumed people were calling you evil. And then started defending that, but still without watching it at all.
Yes.
And then we're like, why didn't you tell me? Why did it take you 2 years to tell me this?
Yeah. That's about it.
Okay. So now we're on the same page.
Yes.
Okay, so you understand that this video was a joke, and
Now I do.
that it was although it still portrays mansplaining, nobody was calling you evil at all.
Yeah, I guess again, I just overreact to stuff. It's my own problem.
Sure. So let's get into why some of this stuff in here is a little bit problematic. Because I think
Okay.
you understand why just reacting to something without actually looking at the context is problematic. So I don't think we need to talk about that.
All right.
Right? Okay, cool. We're both on
Yes.
the same page then. Let's start with this here. Why did it take you 2 years to tell me this? I mean, we hung out on Dapper's chat and on your chat a lot, or did you point this out during the stream and I just forgot? If so, my memory is going with age. I'm serious about wanting to get back whatever friendship we had. You and the point that you had written this hadn't watched the video.
No.
Okay, so what do you think?
Again, I think I'm stupid.
Okay, that's not an excuse though. So like,
I
can
don't-
you walk me
I-
through your thought process a little bit? What were you thinking?
I thought again, I thought I did something that ruined whatever. I don't know if we even have a friendship or not, or acquaintanceship, And I thought, I thought I wouldn't be able to. Yeah, losing.
It's okay. I'm not here to berate you. I'm here to understand.
I don't understand myself sometimes.
That is a struggle. So yeah, I think Twitwit's got it. You got defensive.
Yeah,
Is that a good way to put it?
yeah. Defensive and overreacting, both.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So all right, so I'm just making sure that I understand what had happened here.
Okay.
There was a defensiveness and an immediate jump to an apology, right?
Yes.
So from there, we went to an attack, and then to sort of brushing off.
Did I think you were attacking me, or was I attacking you?
Well, I don't know what you thought.
Well, I thought. Well, I know the attacking. I'm attacking anything, but I thought you didn't think my apology was real.
Yeah, I still don't think your apology is real because you didn't watch the video, so you don't know what you're apologizing for. So it's not a real apology.
True.
It's okay. We're here to help. We're here to figure this out so that way we can help prevent it from happening in the future. So,
Right.
this is what I'm saying is going on the attack,
Okay.
right? Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I understand that now. Since I was on your Discord for 2 years, I know this was a meme or not. This became a meme or anything.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think I'm on your Discord.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm on like 20 Discords. I have no idea what I'm on anymore.
I mean, I can look real quick.
Is
I
it
don't see-
Patreon only Discord?
Yeah, I don't see you in here.
So it was Patreon only. If I'm not on it, then but yeah. Feel free to talk because I don't because my brain's broken right now.
Okay, so let's start with, let's go back to the video. Now that you've seen it, right?
Yes.
Let's look at the video itself, exclude anything
Right.
that happened otherwise, and say, what do we see that's wrong here and what do we see that's right here? All right? And
Okay.
we can look at your friend or we can look at the responses during those times. Do you want me to play it
Okay.
again, or do you want me to play and then you tell me when to pause?
You can pause because I guess play.
Okay. All right, I'll play. And you
All right.
can all right.
These people were complaining about like these graphics nowadays aren't realistic at all. They look so lame and stuff. I'm like, geez, go back and play Atari and regular Nintendo. And
Yeah,
so
remember
now.
8-bit? Yeah, I mean,
Well,
first-
there's two differences there, though, right? Mario isn't supposed to look realistic, right? Most old school Nintendo games that they were limited, so none of them were actually supposed to look
Yeah.
realistic. Now you're producing cinematic level of
True.
video games that are being
I guess
sold
that-
on the idea that they look realistic. So the complaint is a little bit fair in that context.
I mean, to them, but people that like us that I guess pause it there. I guess.
Mhm.
So I guess. Okay, so talking about the actual video, I guess you were saying that, at least you were saying that the graphics today aren't good or are good or
I
Mario-
was saying that games are being sold
Oh.
with the intention of and on the premise that
Okay.
they are realistic, whereas
Okay.
old school games were not. So if somebody's complaining about graphics in new games, saying they're not reaching that set standard or expectation, it's a different complaint
True.
than saying that, well, old games aren't realistic. It's like, yeah, okay, but they weren't sold on that idea.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense then, because of course at the time, no, were you around when Final Fantasy VII came out for the PS?
Yes.
I thought, oh my, at the time I thought, oh my god, these things are so amazing.
Mhm.
Those,
Oh, yeah.
those little pixel things, like I'm like nowadays, it's like wow, that's terrible. But at the time I was like, oh my god, this thing's the best graphics I ever saw in my life.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there are definitely games that were groundbreaking for the time. That's one of them. Ocarina of Time's considered another one. Final Fantasy X, when it came out, was a really big deal graphically.
And now it's like wow, they suck.
I feel like you're
Okay.
still not understanding my point because that none of that is applicable to what I said.
True.
Do you know why?
Honestly, just God, no.
It's okay. Like it's their video games. It doesn't. Who cares? Nobody's mad at
True.
you. Here's why. So far, you had made a point in the video. I made a counterpoint saying, here's why their argumentation or their complaint is valid. And then you just explained to me the same point you made. And in the video, you're about to explain to me the same point you just made.
Okay. Okay.
Do you think I'm not understanding what you're saying?
No, I understand. I understand. Yeah, I understand now. Is I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I did. I guess I didn't realize I was repeating myself without repeating myself.
Mm.
I guess.
Do
Yeah,
you understand how my point applies?
Yes. Games claim that there's the games nowadays, they claim that they're this, but they're not really.
They're setting a
we keep-
standard and people are complaining about that standard. Yes.
Okay.
So it doesn't apply backwards, right? Because
Yes.
the games at the time might said, hey, let's say you take Final Fantasy VII and they advertise it by saying groundbreaking graphics. Great, they were for that time period, right? But if you say game-breaking graphics on a game now and people say, well, that's not realistic looking at all and it's Call of Duty and it's sold on the idea, then their complaint applies then. So saying, well, but older games looked worse or were groundbreaking for the time doesn't address the complaint that's actually being made.
Okay. I guess that's really a complaint that's always happened. Then I still didn't pay attention to it until I didn't pay attention to the complaints until I got old.
Fair enough. All right.
I guess I've become one of those back in my day people that my parents were.
Well, I mean, maybe, but is that a good approach? Or is it maybe better to say, okay, well, in this regard, people should be appreciative of what they have, and that's sure, great, that's fine. Things were worse back like before. But also, you know what I mean?
Yes.
All right, do you want me to hit play on this again?
No. No. Well, if you want to, the other thing was about long Mario games or something.
So,
Mario
well,
games.
this was the first half of this was just to demonstrate that, like, what the context of the second half. The second half is the only thing that's problematic about the first half of this are two things. One, you completely I may as well have not said anything, right? Because, like, you made a point, I made a counterpoint, and then you made your point again. And that basically comes off, whether it's intended or not, it comes off as if I may as well have just said nothing, because you just completely just whooshed the point. Right?
I guess again I didn't know at least not consciously that I just resaid the same thing I said before. That was just me babbling at that point, I guess I do a lot.
I mean, sure, the point is that it's not so it's frustrating and it can come off poorly. The intention is whatever the intention is. So it's one of those things about avoiding in the future or whatever, yada yada yada, but like it's not that big of a deal. All right, I'm gonna and the other one was this absurd thing that Steve said, which is just absurd.
I grew up with Frogger and stuff, and like, yeah, this looks.
Well, I don't think there's any set standard of what photorealism actually entails.
I don't think there's any set standard for what photorealism entails. I'm pretty sure the short answer to that is a photo.
True.
So, but whatever, I just did not, like, my eyebrows just went up and I was like, nope, not touching that one.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Like photorealism looks like a photo.
Right. Yes, the set standard for what would be photorealistic is something that would be the equivalent of a photo. Yes. Go figure.
Yeah.
What the fuck? A few moments later.
But I remember the very first time I beat Super Mario Brothers on the NES. And here's the thing. What you don't understand, Chesh, is like you're playing Super Mario Brothers and you go through 100 levels, and every time you complete a level, you go through like sub levels, and then you have to complete the big level, and you go through a total of 100 levels. Every level predictably is harder.
Yeah,
yes.
100 levels. I don't know where they got that number from, because that's like like 36 levels, I think. Let's kind of Mario 1 and the lost levels, but yeah, 100 levels. I like.
Yes, there's
the ma-
something about being mansplained to, and then there's something about having somebody mansplain something to you and getting it incorrect. Did you catch where this went off the rails? Because there's two spots.
Where he's talking about how he think you played Mario before, and assuming you didn't play Mario.
It's not that assuming that I don't play Mario. Like you can make assumptions. The reason why I put the first half of this video in place was for context. If we're talking about video games, I clearly have a context and I clearly understand games. First off, he called me she as if I wasn't in the room at first.
Oh.
And then corrected himself to say, well, maybe the thing you don't understand, Chesh, and then proceeded to explain to me the concept of a video game using Mario incorrectly as an example.
Okay. My brain's finally catching up now.
Yeah, It's okay, take your time. My brain was doing the same thing.
He okay, first of all, he treated you like you were there, and then he then tried to explain how Mario worked by getting the level count wrong, and how Mario.
Okay, let's see if I did it to you and I said, "Hey, what's your favorite part about Kingdom Hearts?"
Story.
Okay, but here's what you don't understand, is that the story of Kingdom Hearts is that Sora gets the Keyblade, and then his world gets destroyed, and he kind of loses some of his friends. So then he ends up in this place called Traverse Town, and in Traverse Town, he runs into Pluto. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a dog from a really long time ago, back from Mickey Mouse and stuff. And then you go through a bunch of levels, and you go through a bunch of worlds, and then you end up having to go back to them twice because you'd have to fight these things called Heartless, which are basically these creatures that, don't really make any sense, but anyway, they eat you. So then you have to go and fight Maleficent at the end, and progressively it gets harder and harder as you see what I'm saying?
Yes. I don't know why that's so funny, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's funny. The Heartless don't eat you, by the way. Neither do Goombas.
As far as you know.
I mean, it shows you what happens. You jump into the air with both your arms and legs, and you starfish, and then you fall off the screen into the depths of hell, I assume.
Mario Hell and Kingdom Hearts Hell.
I'm not going into the problems of the story and convoluted nature of Kingdom Hearts, but
yes,
because that's a whole other. That is a rabbit hole and a half. But the point is like. How do I know you know about Kingdom Hearts? Well, it's in your tag, and you play it on stream. These are basic things that are easy to find out information about you. So to then say, to imply, as we're having a conversation about video games, that levels get harder as you progress, as if I don't know what that is.
Unless you're playing a preschool game. But they might get harder then too. And I haven't played a preschool game in years, so I wouldn't know.
The whole concept of a game is that it tends to get harder as you progress through it. What would be the point of a game getting easier as you go?
To, I guess, keep your attention, I guess.
Not sure why you're trying. Why would it keep your attention if it's easy and boring?
I have no idea, but it wouldn't keep my attention.
Okay, so Manya makes an interesting point in the chat. The comment you just made about Goombas don't eat you was, as far as you know. Why did you say that?
I was making a conspiracy joke.
We know that you don't get eaten by Goombas in the first Mario game. For a fact!
Yeah, I know. It's making trying to make a joke, but very bad joke.
The thing is okay, well, why is it bad?
Because it's lame.
Oh, okay. The point is that the comment offhandedly sounds condescending. Like, well, as far as you know. Right? Well, you don't get eaten by Goombas. Yeah. Well, as far as you know. Like, within the context of the conversation we're having, we're talking about how this person talked to me as if I didn't know what I was talking about. Got the information wrong. I'm correcting the information, and you're like, yeah, but are you, though?
Sorry, I was making a joke. I was trying to make a lame conspiracy theory joke. The Goombas do eat you.
Maybe the
Goombas what you know.
You. I mean, there might be versions of Mario where the Goombas do eat you. But do you understand what I'm saying about how things can come across, right? Especially when you're being flippant.
Yes.
So.
I do.
Now, as far as this comment here, why did it take you 2 years to tell me this? This face right here. What do you think that is? What do you think that says?
You're annoyed?
And so what about this was not communicated?
Well, since I haven't seen that video in 2 years, I guess I didn't know what you're annoyed about.
Well, this whole bit here is the did you point this out during stream and I just forgot? But you didn't watch the video.
Yes.
So do we now agree that this would count as communicating?
Yes.
I held this face the whole time.
The whole 2 minutes? Just when Brad was talking?
The time, as soon as I realized what was going on, like, I gave him because, sometimes you do things for the audience, right? You'll do, like, a little mini explanation. So, like, if you're not familiar with Mario is you go rescue the princess from the castle, and you have to go through the castles get progressively harder, and then make your point, right? That's why you see this pause.
And you go through a total of 100 levels. Every level predictably gets harder.
I held that face from here until the end of him talking.
I think I was laughing at the time. Now that I remember this, I think I was laughing at the time because he was explaining something stupid like that. And I was like, shut up, Brad.
Well, nobody said or interrupted until the end. But the thing is he does this whole thing, and it has nothing to do with it. There's no explanation about how that addresses anything anyone had said at all.
Because we were talking about graphics, and also we were talking about how.
But but what I had said about graphics is old versus new games and how they're advertised. Yes. And his response was to tell me that I don't understand what Mario is, and then proceed to tell me how a game functions incorrectly.
When you get stuff in context, it makes a lot more sense.
What?
I said when you actually hear stuff in content, what he was talking about, how we. I can't. What I'm saying now. Like, we're talking about graphics, and then he talked. Like, this whole conversation would have been if I actually pay attention. Like Mike said, he took that out of context. I took the whole thing out of context, and he took not out of context, but he took a whole different subject. Now we were talking about before.
Oh, so you're saying okay? So except for he started off with the thing she doesn't understand. I think the thing she's not understanding, or what Chesh you're not understanding, is Mario exists.
Yeah.
So there is no context to jump here. Or like a subject jump. At least not one that's explained, because he's saying what I said that I'm not understanding something about video games. Right?
Yes.
So the context is that he's saying this in response to something that I said. Right?
Yes.
And what I had said was what I showed at the beginning.
Yeah, about how they have a point that the graphics aren't really that great in modern settings.
Well, it's the context of what I had said is that the graphics are sold to be in a specific way, and older games didn't have even remotely close to that level of graphic capability.
Yes.
Right. So and then he said the thing you're not understanding is Mario is a game.
Like he went on about level hardness and not the graphic designs.
But what does that have to do with what I'm not understanding?
Nothing.
Right.
He just changed subjects out of the blue.
And let's just jump to the end of this here.
That is the reward you get for playing 100 levels.
Well, if it makes it feel any better, in the second Mario game, it's all just a dream. You hear the agreement in the video. Now, I clipped out, like, the visual part of it, but you can hear the agreement of you and Steve in the video of, like, and that's what you get. And it's like, so what?
I said that? That's what I get?
Well, that's what Brad said. That's what Brad said. That's what you get for beating the game. He's like, you go on this big thing, and then that's what you get at the end. You get nothing. And it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? That's why I brought up Mario 2, to make the point that, listen, I know what Mario is, but also, who cares?
It's a dream. And Mario 3 is a play. Yeah, that's the point. But yeah, I understand.
So that was the issue being pointed out. This was the problem. This weird tangent trying to tell somebody, and like context just means what he was responding to, right?
Yes.
Because this was specifically directed at me.
So he was the one, I guess. So I thought I was the one mansplaining, not Brad. Did I mansplain at all?
No, you just ignored what I said. You know, you just ignored me completely.
Okay. Okay.
That was at the beginning, right? The
yes.
Hey, here's this point about older games. Okay, well, here's a point like
about modern games.
Right.
And I apparently was paying attention. I probably didn't pay attention.
Apparently. So, are we on the same page with the video?
Yes.
And now are we on the same page that this was very much explained at the time?
Yes.
This was communicated of...
Yes.
Bruh. Okay. Now. Down here.
Okay.
We get to... I think we understand about like why the apology you said didn't make any sense, because you didn't know or understand what you were apologizing for. It was just like a snap reaction. That's what you were saying?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So it makes sense to not have the apology accepted, right? That makes sense to you as well?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just want to make sure we're still on the same page and we haven't lost anything before we move on to the next little spot here.
Okay.
Okay. This bit, the no one ever advertised my show before part. This has some real yikesy implications.
I guess for me, this is me. I guess the time I thought, uh, like I just liked someone that, like was showing people my work. I'm like, oh, cool. So, but then like because I'm like invisible, I feel invisible. So it's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like so, oh, this like even though it was probably bad what happened, but it's out there now, so it's people can see me. People can see my channel.
So you
So that's how.
understand why, even if you thought you were apologizing for the correct thing, why this completely undermines that.
Nah, dude, at the time I thought it was just a very bad advertisement joke.
So this is, you're
But
kidding.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of?
Well, I did appreciate. Like I said, like, yes and no. I appreciated, putting my name out there, even though it was for a bad. God. I don't know how to say it. I mean, the advertisement was a joke, but also not a joke, kind of. Oh God, both, neither. I don't know.
It's okay. Mario is a game that exists. And so in Mario... It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. We're working through it. We're working through it.
At the time, I guess answer her question. Was I trying to be cocky at the time? I guess, but maybe trying to be funny. I guess.
I'm just gonna read out her question so that way people who aren't looking at the screen know what you're responding to. Manya had asked Vandalia, did you actually care in the moment what Chesh was trying to convey, or were you trying to be cocky, or what?
Both.
Well, I mean, you can't say. I think we all would understand that you can't say you were trying to understand what I was conveying because you didn't watch the video.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's fair, right?
Cocky. Yes.
Okay. So, you also understand that nobody was calling you evil or anything at any point during any of this. Okay.
Yes. Now, like I said, I thought you were. I thought again. I thought backing up again. Since you had a falling out with Steve recently, and I was you had me in this video with Steve. I thought.
Oh, okay. So you thought, I think I understand what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that because Steve was in that video, some of like whatever malice I have towards Steve you were getting included into.
Yes. Okay.
And so you saw enough of the video to know that you just saw it while you were scrolling or whatever and saw that, oh, hey, I'm in this and Steve's in this and Steve is big in here. So therefore it's Steve related.
Yes.
Okay. So that I think that makes sense. Chat, tell me if what I said made sense, because I just want to make sure this is being conveyed properly, because it's a little confusing.
Let me see if I can make same with me if what I said makes sense or not.
So so to go back, you were under the impression as you were scrolling through the video that you were getting lumped in with Steve. I think that would be a best way to put it.
Yes.
And because I had a falling out with Steve in February, that you were getting lumped into that category.
Yes.
Okay, and you've watched the video now.
Yes, and I wasn't.
Okay. All right, we got that out of the way. So now we kind of understand where a lot of this is coming from, because before we didn't really understand where this was coming from. Now we kind of have an idea where your sort of mindset was when you were responding with like being evil or
Yes.
being this, being that. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So do we I mean, I feel like it's not really relevant whatever your current relationship with Steve is. Because I don't know why that would matter to this. Do you
Yeah,
think
I don't
that
haven't-
matters?
I haven't really talked to him like over a year, so
Okay. So now we've got. Let's go back to why this particular thing is problematic, because you kind of talked about what you were
Okay.
thinking of, and like maybe you were being cocky or flippant, right?
okay.
Do you know why this is problematic, or how this comes across?
It comes across prideful, maybe, or not prideful, or like ooh, I'm getting attention, yippee, or like that.
Well, okay. So if you're saying, "Hey, I'm sorry for this thing, but thanks for the advertising, though," are you sorry? Or are you just like,
I'm so,
I don't really
I'm
care.
sorry.
I'm just glad this is being talked about so I can have attention.
Well, what I didn't realize I was sorry if I had said something bad, but yeah, I guess they counteract they override each other, or counteract each other.
Right, because sorry, but attention though. It doesn't come off very good. Do you kind of
Yeah.
understand
Yes,
why
in
you started getting the pushback you did?
Yes, in hindsight, I do.
Right. So this is like indicative, like this can go real bad real quick, right? If you were to actually start behaving, this is how you become like a lol cow over on like the drunken peasants. Because people will come to you and prod you to do something awful so they can talk about the awful thing that you're doing, and then you'll get picked up by the drunken peasants and be like, what the hell is this person doing? Because you're just doing whatever for the attention.
Are they still around here? I haven't watched them in like years either.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I stopped caring about them years ago. So
Okay, but that doesn't answer what
Yes.
I said.
yes. I should go changing subjects again, but yeah, yeah, I guess it made me seem like I didn't care.
Mm-hmm. And so how you would get that, like, especially if you start talking about what was going on in DMs at the time, about like, oh, I just want to make sure we're okay.
Yeah.
But thanks for the advertising. That's why I just sent back like a, oh god, no, why would you say this?
Because again, brain doesn't work. My brain doesn't work half the time. It seems like brain's not working now either.
You can't. Okay, that undermines everything we worked on so far.
I don't know. I really don't know else how to explain.
You're not explaining. You're getting defensive. You
I
don't
am.
need to.
Okay,
You don't need
I guess
to get.
I am.
You are. Yeah. See, nobody's angry at you. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. You don't need to get defensive about it. It's okay.
I guess that's just a reaction I've always had.
Mm-hmm. It's a way to defend and deflect, right? So if you're like, oh, well, I'm just stupid, I'm dumb, you're self-deprecating as a way to be like, okay, well, now this person isn't going to be mad at me. They're going to be like, well, they're just being stupid, whatever, and move on and deflect the issue, right? And on top of that, you run into problems, because if you just say, well, I'm just stupid, then you're dismissing any kind of growth you could have as an individual.
I guess I didn't mean to be dismissive or deflective, at least on purpose.
Oh yeah, sure. It seems to me like it's as we've been talking at the beginning of a topic, you're very defensive in like, oh well, I'm just stupid, I'm dumb, my brain doesn't function, I get stressed, like da 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 da. That's defensive. And then as we're
Okay.
talking, and it's like, listen, no, it's okay. Nobody's mad. We're just working through it. We're just going to talk about it and see what we can kind of figure out. And then you're fine, and you're good for like a time. And then we move to the next subject, and we're right back to, oh, I'm just stupid. Oh, I do this, I do that. But it's just self-deprecation, right? It doesn't actually address the problem. It doesn't fix any of the issues. It's just you don't have to. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not trying to diagnose you or anything. I'm like, this is just a pattern.
I think I do. I think I do need one, really. But yeah,
I mean, maybe, but listen, everybody should. Everybody should have a therapist, myself included. If you don't have a therapist and you have access to one, go get a regular checkup. It's okay.
yeah. All I have is right now is anxiety, depression medication. It's like I barely can afford that. But yeah, I probably need a therapist a lot.
Mm-hmm. I think everybody does. If you don't have one, get one. So, we're going to take out the immediate apology because you have to understand something before you can apologize for it. I think we all are on the same page with that.
Yes.
We're going to take out the, oh, well, I'm stupid or I'm just dumb. We're going to take that out because you're not dumb. You're able to understand this as we're talking about this. This is clearly not a dumb thing. Right? And like these are easy mistakes to make. They're like you don't catch things in the moment too sometimes. Like it's not a big deal. That's one of the fun things about analyzing videos, right? You get to analyze them after the fact.
I'm just glad it's off topic again. I do that a lot too, but
go ahead.
At least it's not what Dapper does, analyzing the YACP videos like he does. It's
Listen, nobody in the call is Kent Hovind. Thank God for that. So, we can take things out because you're understanding the concept, right? You're understanding how this can come across in hindsight. You're looking at it analytically. You're able to kind of put things aside and understand. Although maybe you struggle with how to phrase things, that's just a matter of words good. Like it's just a vocabulary comfortable thing. And especially if you're uncomfortable, you're going to have a hard time figuring out how you want to say what you're saying.
Yeah, my 5 years of speech therapy and elementary school really played off.
Okay. So, back to this. You understand why it could come across bad and why it would undermine what you were trying to say.
Yes.
Okay. Can you explain to me in your own words the idea?
What I was saying there?
Yeah. Well, no, why it's problematic.
Because if I really was apologizing for something I thought was bad, doing that made you think that I didn't mean it the first time.
Right. And would you agree that it gets worse if you apologize publicly and then privately say something like this?
Oh, yeah, because it makes you think I want a public image, but not personal. For you, I guess it means in publicly I want good in public, but in private, like you're an idiot. I don't really care.
There you go. We got it sorted. Easy peasy. Okay, so I think there was only one other thing in here that needed like a little bit of thing. Here we go. And we kind of talked about this a little bit, right? Because you would respond, I started explaining this because I was like, oh God, why? No, I don't want to do this. You had said, I'm sorry, I just have bad anxiety. And when I upset someone, I just want to fix it. I guess, my mind always goes to the worst scenarios, right? So like that's the anxiety, that's the depression, that's the defensiveness that we talked about, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't know what you're apologizing for here. This is an automatic?
Yeah, I did. At least for this subject, I do this at work too. I get stressed out. I yell at somebody at work, and then until I apologize to them, I feel like guilt builds up, and I mean, either I apologize right away because of my reaction, or I just feel guilty forever and ever and ever until I do.
Okay, so this is like a countermeasure to that. And then I just have bad anxiety. So at this point, you've brought up memory being a problem. You've brought up time frame being a problem. Now it's anxiety. So what we've got happening here is you've got like it feels like, or it comes across that you're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and being like, okay, well, which one is gonna work? Is the memory problem gonna work? Is the anxiety gonna work? Is the time frame gonna work? Like, which thing is gonna defend me? Do you see what I'm saying?
Well, if I could say that, I mean, I guess I didn't. I was just trying. I guess I wasn't trying to get excuses out there, or maybe it was an excuse, but I was just saying all of this. I have issues with everything here. So not that it was an excuse, but I'm just saying. I was saying like I have all these problems. Don't hate me.
Right. Okay, so maybe we need to find you some better wording for that. Right? Because if you're trying to say like preemptive, maybe if you can preempt and say like, okay, I have these problems and I'm trying to understand what you're getting at here. Can you explain this to me with these things in mind? You would not come across as, well, I have bad memory. Oh, well, now I have this. Oh, well, now I have this, but now I also have this. And so you see what I'm saying, where it gets like
Yes.
I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is. Like I said, like in the tweet, my mind always goes to the worst case scenario.
Right, because that's the next one you add in, which is probably I would assume part of the anxiety.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a word in here that really sets this like alarm bells for me, and it's the word
Okay.
just. Because what I had said, just for context, what I had said, like I wasn't going after you, I was just pointing out something that was a good example. Do you want me to go through this step by step like you're 5? I don't know why you're blowing this out of proportion or how you expect any of this to even be productive.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Because you're like,
and
oh, I
I-
want to get back whatever friendship, etc., right?
Yes. And then I guess what I said there was an excuse of my behavior.
Well, if you say, well, I'm sorry, I just have this, it doesn't say that you don't have anxiety. It doesn't mean the anxiety is not a problem, but you're using the anxiety as a shield for what you think you're getting criticized for, which you weren't
Okay.
getting criticized for, which we've gone over,
Oh,
right?
Yes. Okay. Again, it's just that it's just me using bad language to say something.
If you say, I just have this, it means you're stuck there and this is the best you can do. And that's clearly not the case, right? Like, clearly, like, we're having the conversation, you're understanding the topics and the subject matter. This is, it's clearly not the case of, I just have bad anxiety, therefore this is what my behavior is 24/7, which is not the case.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's the problem with Twitter versus actually talking to somebody. When you talk to somebody, you can do much more than you can in like a writing.
I don't know. Then you get people catching and slowing down you saying, what I think she doesn't understand. I mean, the thing you're not understanding, Chesh. She? I'm sitting right here. Bro, what? All right. So then, because I was asking, like, how do you expect this to be productive? And this you still didn't watch it, right, at this point, just to be clear?
No.
Okay, so if you go to the worst case scenario and you're stressed out about what's in the video, I don't understand this idea of wanting to fix things, because you say that again later on too, and let's see if I can find it.
I mean, how can I fix something if I so like saying, how can I fix something if I don't know what I'm fixing?
Right. And how is, oh, I just have anxiety fixing anything?
It's not.
Exactly.
Again, that was just me at that point rambling.
Well, I mean, it's text. you have to like your ramble typing and then just hitting send. I mean, that
Yes.
happens, but there's a little bit more steps involved.
Yes, I've watched it by now. Yes, I have watched it by now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
at
yeah.
the time, I
Mhm.
didn't watch it.
Right. So yeah.
Like,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, like I said, I didn't watch it because I thought I don't want to see me being bad. So like, I don't want to like wow. It's like I guess hindsight. Just watch it context. I'm like, wow, it must have been bad. I don't want to see me being stupid. I don't want to see me being bad.
Right. So, what do you think would be more productive? Because if you're gonna like, is it just a matter
Well-
of like you kind of got caught in the moment, and so you were like, okay, no, I
Yeah, I
have
guess
to
you're-
say something. I have to say something. I have to say something.
Yes. I guess being more productive is not going on a Twitter war. Could that be more productive?
More flame wars. So, okay. I think we've got most of the misunderstandings out of the way. Right? Like, is there anything that you
Yes.
want to ask me or talk to me about when it came to anything that I said during this, or
No, I think I understand. I think that you weren't attacking me, and I should have paid better attention. I should have worded my things more carefully, and I shouldn't have said the opposite. And I shouldn't have said something differently than on public and private.
that's actually pretty good. So, is there moving forward, what do we do?
Just communicate better.
I would recommend actually that's actually really, really good. That's a good suggestion. Because I was going to say maybe have a handful of canned responses. So, like, when you start getting stressed out, have something that you've already written up and put to the side for yourself that you can just send as something that you can be like, you know what? I have anxiety. This conversation is stressing me out right now. I'm going to revisit this in like a little bit, yada, 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 whatever you feel like you need to say to clarify kind of where you're coming from. And then you can take a step. But then you don't have to you don't have to be like, oh, if I don't respond to this person, they're going to hate me forever.
And I guess also don't respond right away. Maybe don't react to the moment. Just let things play out. And then see where it's at. Just don't jump to that conclusion. Just I got to do this right now, or it's too late.
Yeah, because during this, you also sent me a tweet saying, hey, come watch my video about the Terminator. And I was like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this?
At that point, it was totally different. At that point, it was totally off subject. At that point, I was just like, I was showing I just do that. It was a random share of people.
Was it?
Yeah, I tag people on Twitter and send videos.
Because the timing on this was kind of sus.
I guess it could have been, but a few days afterwards, or the day afterwards, or
It was this was going on because this thread took place over a couple of days.
like it's like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. 1 week ago. 2 weeks ago.
It's probably more than that because it's December now. Whatever it is. It was the Terminator video, whenever your Terminator video came out. Because you tweeted at me, and I believe the other person you had tweeted at was Benthoven. both of which were critical of you at this point in this thread.
Oh, I sure it was you two. I thought it was other people too.
I mean, I can go find
Maybe it
the
was just you
exact
two.
tweet. Hold on. I'll find the exact tweet. I'm a professional at this.
If it was just you two, then I guess that how it would seem that I was trying, but really it was just get as much many people out there, hey, let's be out here, watch it or not, I mean, if I say it was just you two, then that would be like I was doing that on purpose, but I swore I had more than you two, but I might not.
So I'm just pulling it up here.
Right.
Because it was like, it did kind of come out of left field of like, wait, what? Why?
I guess at that point I don't know if we had already agreed at that point, if we had already agreed to be on here or not, but
okay, but so what? Do you know what I mean? So because you agreed to come on to this to have a discussion to work out things, is it necessarily a good idea to start inviting people to other things when there's clearly something that needs to be sussed out?
No.
Why?
Again, it makes it seem like I don't care. But we're trying to work out.
Okay, so what was the thought? Here it is. What was the thought process? Because you said you tweeted these two people because they were coming to talk to you, and then you sent it to this person named Maya Bent, RJ Downard, and me. And so, like, that's why I just sent this back. It's like, what are you talking about?
Like,
this was November 16th. So if you care about the time frame, this was November 13th. And our conversation.
2 weeks.
Yeah, and our conversation was agreed upon, like this, was agreed upon on the 17th.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So, yeah, so we were still in the middle of whatever thing we were having when I said, oh, I make a video, come watch it.
Yes. Right. So you're in the middle of, essentially, from my perspective, attacking me for something I didn't do, and also, like, throwing your, like, anxiety and such at me as a defense for any kind of criticism that I wasn't even making.
And then here, all of a sudden here, I'm random
being like, thanks for the advertisement, bro.
And then I'm like, okay, well, off topic, here's the video.
Yeah, but it doesn't come off as off topic.
Well, at the time, well, now I see that, but at the time, I guess I didn't like put the two things together, like this argument over here, and then here's something totally different over here.
Yeah, but you hadn't tagged me in anything in a really long time.
Well, I guess at the time, I guess you were in my mind, so we had been talking.
So they're not uncorrelated.
Yeah, but yeah, you were on my mind, like as I said. But it's like it was correlated, but not
it wasn't the cause, or it was a cause, but it wasn't a direct, like, thing.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, because I don't think it was some time to tweet. Oh, I know their Twitter now. Like, I know their Twitter. Like, and then, like, right. I get, you know what I'm trying to say? kind of.
Yeah, yeah. It was like in your recent tags, and it was like it was a simple thing, like, oh, who have I been talking to lately? This person, this person, this person, or oh, like, this person would probably enjoy this content, and you're just completely just separating, like, not seeing the connection between point A, point B, and point C.
Yes.
Because I had no intention of having this conversation at all. I was like, no, I don't care. This is so stupid, and I do not have the patience to have this conversation right now. There's a reason why I set this out like a couple of weeks. I was like, this needs to chill. This needs to be put on ice for a little bit, because I don't want to just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like you don't want to do what I did and this snap reaction.
I didn't want to be angry, because it was getting really frustrating, right? And so I'm like, if we're going to have a conversation that's going to be productive, then I also need to step back from this for a few minutes. So here's the thing. This conversation, as far as I was considered, was over. Then you tagged me. Then you were messaging me in DMs being like, can we work this out? There was a lot of consistent pressure coming from you to do this. Until I agreed.
Do
you understand how, like, it would have come off that way, even if that wasn't intended?
I was pressuring you, but I guess you said waiting a while was good too. I still also didn't want to have like this long animosity that wasn't at the time, for months and months and months, build up.
Yeah, like from my end, there was no build up. And from my end, I was like, dude, you need to just what you're doing? You gotta stop. Just don't. Like, because you're just making yourself look real bad. And so, like, there was nothing more that needed to be added, right? It would have just been dropped and moved on, and would have been like whatever. But if you're gonna, do you think pressuring to have the conversation was, especially since you hadn't watched the video? I can't believe we started this by being like, oh, I don't know, I didn't realize that's what the conversation was about. I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at the situation. It's just like, there's a level of absurdity to this that's like, what?
Be a lesson to everyone. Read a book. Read a book.
Read the book.
Read the book.
Read the fine print. Yeah, no, I think that's good advice. But okay, the part that I'm having a problem with here is that you were purposefully trying to pressure me into a conversation about a slight that you felt that was being dressed up as a slight that I felt that that you were projecting onto me without ever even having seen the content.
Yes.
Okay, so what part of that is problematic, do you think?
The whole thing?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah. Can you tell me why?
No.
Okay. What do you think? Like, what are your thoughts? Because it doesn't, if you don't know why, it's gonna happen again.
Yeah. I don't know how to say it.
It's okay, take your time. There's no rush. I will help you say it, though, but I need to understand where you're at before I can help.
Okay, so can you say that? Can you say that?
So,
Okay.
We've got a situation where you're pressuring me to have a conversation
so we can work out
On
whatever differences that I thought we had at the time.
right, because it was a slight that you felt that was dressed up as a slight that you were projecting that I had felt. You thought,
Yes.
right? You thought that I had a problem with something you had done.
Yes.
And you thought I was attacking you. Or at least lumping
Yes.
you in with a whole nother problem.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And so you were pressuring me to have this conversation when I had already said, like, you gotta stop. Like, this makes no sense.
Pressuring anyone to do anything is bad.
Well, you've also got this problem of this confusion between who was having the problem. Was I having a problem with you, or were you having a problem with me?
I was having a problem with you.
Right.
Because I thought you were
Right.
having a problem with me.
Right. And like we've already gone over the why that was a
Stupid.
different issue. So now we're in a position where if you're going to pressure, like just in general, it's usually not good to pressure people into having a conversation that they don't want to have. Did you think I was unclear about that?
Well, no, I think you're unclear about that, but
Mhm.
but like I said, going back to my other tweet, that I was hoping we could clear it up, like we're doing now, before it got to the point of you like big Twitter, YouTube flame war, or if it was going that way. And I guess I was afraid it was. Afraid it was. So I didn't want it to get that point.
What made you
Like-
think
be
that
like-
it was going that direction?
Well, I guess I felt whenever anybody gets an argument on Twitter or YouTube, it just just goes.
It's just the way. This is the way of the internet.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, and do you think did you interpret, I should say, did you take any of my tweets as any kind of escalation?
Well, I guess like
You can say yes.
that one right there. Yes, that one right there. I thought.
This one of being like, why? That's
Yeah,
fair. That's fair.
And then Bent said he doesn't understand. Because I didn't, I guess, but
Right.
I guess I thought that was an exclamation thing.
Escalation.
That probably was. Yeah.
Right, but who's escalating here? Me, Bent, or you?
All three of us?
Okay, that's an interesting interpretation. Because I didn't link to anything new. I linked to, like, what we were talking about. And so mine is an indication as to why are you tagging me? That's what this tweet is. Like, there's a whole thing going on over here. What are you doing? And then Bent was accurately observing that you didn't understand.
I guess in my mind's eye, they're two different topics.
Well, I mean, they are. Like, Terminator doesn't really have anything to do with this, but from my point of view, you're asking. Okay, the video is about mansplaining and having this man tell me exactly what I don't know about something I completely understand incorrectly. Then there's this other argument that goes on about this. Now I'm being tagged in a video about Terminator, and the Terminator, one of the main things about Terminator is having a strong female lead.
That's true.
Yeah. So not only did you tag me in something random, you also tagged me in something that is
didn't
like
really
a feminist icon.
I didn't really think about that. I didn't think about that. I was just we were talking about the multiverse, different timelines and Terminator timelines, and like
Yeah.
the video was about. And, but I actually I didn't think about the Sarah Connor. I didn't really think about the Sarah Connor part of it.
Right.
Wow.
Right. You see what I'm saying? There's like a whole
Yeah,
big old like clump of
Yes.
nonsense.
Yes. I see it. But I wasn't thinking about it at the time. Thinking about it.
This essentially comes off to me as somebody being like, "Hey, listen, I know that somebody like just shit talked down to you on my show about a thing cuz you're a woman. So, let me invite you to this thing where it's going to be a bunch of dudes sitting around and talking about this strong female lead as this woman here that we're already shit talked down on."
Wow. I guess I totally forgot about the Sarah Connor part.
How do you have a conversation about Terminator and not talk about Sarah Connor?
She does. I was more interested in how the different timelines work in Terminator. Like, oh, this was one timeline, but now we're killing this kid now. Now this never happened. We're all rebooted, and now we're doing this over here. And no, never mind, that happened again. Now we're doing this thing.
But she's directly tied into the multiverse timeline. The whole first movie is about this woman having sex with a dude from the future.
To be fair, I have rarely watched Terminator. Only Terminator movie I really ever watched fully was the second Judgment Day.
Are you like, we're getting to the real tea here now. Oh my god. Alright, so you invited. Oh no, I dropped my boo. Oh well. So you
my two guests had watched Terminator a lot, so they were mainly talking about it. I was just hosting the platform.
I feel like we're getting to like the deflection part now because it's like, well, it wasn't really just me. It was just these people having this conversation. I didn't really know anything about this. I'm not really interested.
Not really. I really at this point I'm just like deflect. It sounds like, but at this point in my chat, at this point, like. I just try to get guests to talk about stuff. Like I have content at this point.
Uh-huh. I mean, content is good. You should probably have content you care about. That tends to draw people's attention.
True. I like how you and Dapper and other people can actually have something week by week and schedule. Like, oh, today I'm having this guest or this guest talking about this subject. I'm like, I hope I get a guest or a subject to talk about.
Right. So, what we're essentially getting at here is you had a completely unrelated topic, which wasn't really completely unrelated and had connotations that you didn't notice and didn't realize. Particularly with the timing of which you were tagging me in.
Yes.
Okay, so here's what would have happened. Let me explain what would have happened had I shown up. I'd have shown up, I'd have been in your side chat, and then potentially would have been brought on, because that tends to happen sometimes when somebody shows up. You're like, oh hey, cool, come on. Because I know you do that sometimes. And I would have been like, are we just ignoring Sarah Connor? Or we're just not gonna have that conversation? And then I would have gotten talked over. That's my expectation.
Well, with these people, unlike Brad, you probably would have been dominant voice in there because they're like me and they rarely talk.
I'm sorry, you might need to repeat that. I don't think my brain actually took all that in. Please repeat.
You said you might have been you probably been talked over, and I said not with this group of people. You probably wouldn't have.
Oh, so it's just
You
Brad that's the problem then.
well, not that the problem. He's always been a not rambler, but he's
I don't mind rambling. Rambling is fine. I mean, I have Barry on.
but not
the rambly part
not
wasn't
rambling,
the issue.
not rambling, but I could never get a word in edgelights with him either when we're hanging out.
He talks a lot. That's fine. It's when I say talking over, I don't mean in the literal sense. I mean then I'm gonna have somebody explaining to me something that I never even mentioned or brought up at all.
Yeah,
Like with the Mario, I'm saying the Mario situation would have happened again.
Yeah, it's not just you. He does that to everybody. To me too.
He explains to you what you obviously already know in gravest detail.
Or not that I don't know or do know, it's or if I don't care about.
Okay, so I feel like you're not understanding the problem with Mario. I feel like we're back to this again. The problem wasn't that he rambled. The problem wasn't that he talked a lot.
No. I understand what you're saying. I had the words I'm trying to. I'm saying it's saying. Oh God, how do you come full circle?
Yeah, we're going all the way back around. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. That's what these streams are for.
Just talked over Trey in Discord.
Yep, that happens.
Yeah, I was saying he's always not it's not an excuse what he did, it's not, but he's done that to me just he talks about something and I'm like I thought in my head I don't really care what he's talking about. It's just like you didn't care while your face your face is like I don't care.
That one?
Yeah, like I don't care about this at all.
That is not the I don't care face. I assure you. This face is, it's okay, I'll wait. As you explain to me this thing I clearly already know.
Okay, then usually for me it's that I don't care, but I'm letting you ramble anyways. That's
get to the point, and then he had no point.
Yes.
Like, I would be more than happy to have you talk to your friend and have your friend send me a dissertation about what his point was in that video. Because it's not rambling that's the problem, right?
Yes. It's him talking like we don't know what we're talking about.
It's that it's obvious, like, I obviously know what things are, right? And so the thing she doesn't understand, I mean, what Chesh you're not understanding is this completely other thing that also has nothing to do with what I was talking about. And also is talking to me like I'm fucking stupid, as well as explaining a bare bones basic concept about just the way a game. You can take Mario out of it, right? You can say it's about anything and say, well, video games get harder as you progress and you end up investing a lot of time to get good at those games. Yes. That would, if he had just said that, I would have been like, yeah, and? Because it doesn't have anything to do with the topic. But instead, it's like, no, I'm gonna go through the minutia. Because you're a girl. It wasn't because I wasn't a girl. That was absolutely because I was female.
Oh yeah, I thought it was, but he does all the time to anybody that talks to him.
So you're saying he just explains and talks to everybody like they're fucking dumb all the time about everything?
At least it feels like it to me, at least.
And does this person have any friends? Like, so you're telling me that this person does that to people regularly. You have examples of this also on video somewhere? Because I'd love to see it.
I guess any video that I have him as a guest, maybe. Uh, yeah. I met him in middle school, and I used to take pictures for his. And when we started a band, I used to take pictures for his band. That's how I started my channel, actually.
Sure. But he didn't do that to anybody else in that video about any other
No.
topic. He only did it to
No,
me.
but yes. So that, but he does that. Not. I feel like he does that to me all the time. At least it feels like it.
Because what I'm not getting here is that he didn't do that to you. He didn't do it to Steve.
At least, in the video, yes.
Yeah, in the video. And, like, I mean in that whole hour. Like, that whole 2 hours. I'm not talking about just the clip. Just the clip is only 2 minutes. Right? He didn't jump on Steve and be like, oh, well, actually, photorealism would be da-da-da-da-da-da. And then explain what a photo is and how photons are captured via... So a camera is a thing that exists. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So can you give me an example or describe a situation where you feel like he's done that to you?
It's just not. This, like, I guess. Well, not in the exact same way he did to you. So I think it would count then. Like, woman's splain.
It would just be assuming a man doesn't. A woman's splain would probably find, like, when it comes to, like, periods and stuff. So if I were to explain to you what a tampon is, by assuming you don't know what a tampon is because you're a man. So you see what I'm saying? Like, where the difference, it's not just that he's rambling, it's not just that he's explaining something in unnecessary extra detail. It's that he's talking to me like I'm stupid. He's not doing it to anybody else. And it's completely unrelated. And doesn't address anything, and doesn't even make a point. And
I guess it does sound like an excuse. I guess I never thought about that. I guess I just never thought about it. Never really thought about it because I usually just tune him out when he goes all around. When he goes like that, I usually just tune him out.
But he started with the thing she doesn't the thing you don't understand, Chesh.
Yeah.
The first thing he says is already, like, in the uh-oh zone.
Yes, when you say that, yes, like I said, I actually don't pay attention to whatever he says. I just tune it when he goes.
You just don't listen to this man at all, to anything he says ever? Why do you bring him on your show?
If it was something I don't care about, I just tune him out.
But it was your show and your content talking about video games, which is a thing that you do like to talk about, and it was an open forum discussion. We were talking about a point, an argument that you had brought up.
Yes, but he, like I said, he was on something totally different.
But you didn't know that. Not until he started going.
True.
So, what do you mean? So what are you trying to tell me right now?
Nothing?
Okay. I don't understand. So basically, you're trying to tell me in hindsight. I'm gonna give you a charitable interpretation of what you're trying to say, and you tell me where I'm wrong. In hindsight, Brad is a fucking idiot who doesn't know what he's talking about and shouldn't be listened to.
40% of the time, yes.
For what he said at the time. Is that what you said? For what he said at the time?
I said 40% of the time in
40.
general.
Okay, 40% of the time. So in general. Okay, so what does that mean? That it's okay for him to do what he is doing? That it's
No, it's not okay. It's just I guess I just don't pay attention like I should.
Oh, okay. So you're saying the reason you didn't notice what was going on at the time that it was happening was because you just zoned that dude out 40% of the time anyway.
Yes.
Okay, 2 things. First off, that's a crummy way to treat your friend. Second off, that can't have been the case. And we know that's not the case because of the way this conversation started.
Of us or of him?
Of us.
Okay.
Like, it took some time for you to understand what was problematic with what he was doing. And then we also just went back in circle, right? To apply it to something else, and we had to go over it again. So even if you had heard him, it wouldn't have mattered.
I mean,
what I'm saying is if you didn't understand what he was doing was problematic in the first place, even if you had been listening, nothing would have changed because you didn't understand that it was problematic in the first place. Or why?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So, all you did just now was give me a bunch of reasons why things wouldn't have been, like, why things went the way they did. And the answer was, well, I'm shitty to my friend.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's all you just told me. And so I'm very confused and kind of think it's strange. Like, if you're not going to listen to what somebody says 40% of the time, why are you having them on a channel? And like, how does that look to other people that are going to be guests?
Well, my other guest,
Like, I'm not trying to be hard on you. I'm just saying, like, with the conversation we're having, this is what you're saying. And whether or not that's intended is something different. I'm just kind of bringing it to your attention that this is ultimately what's to be taken from what you just told me.
I guess I just let my guest talk. I guess I usually just let my guest just talk for the sake of talking sometimes.
Well, I mean, that's fine, but if you're letting them talk for the sake of talking and you're not listening, you're not really having a conversation.
True. Most of my guests, I sometimes I do care what he's talking about. Other people.
Sure.
is this when he goes on like these not tangents about something. I don't say that. I do care or don't care about, but he goes on for like 20 minutes, and like you said, back to the Mario thing. Like, you explain it. Even if you do get it, don't get it time you get it later, like 5 minutes in that he's going on for another 20 minutes, and like I'm like, okay, like get to the point already. That again, like, an excuse. I just been dealing with this since the 90s. It's like,
yeah, I understand that your one friend is like the way you treat them is going to be different between the way you treat another friend, but your guests also have to deal with your friend if they're on.
yes.
And it's your channel.
I guess I'm just not good at well, I guess I spoke up to you. I guess I am good at speaking up, but also not good at speaking up.
Are you just not comfortable like confronting your friend, or is this an issue that I'm easier to confront?
Yes.
Because like that could be a me thing, or it could be a you problem. If I'm easier to confront, for what reasons? Like, can you tell me why I'm easier to confront than your friend is comparatively? Like, is there a problem with your friend or your relationship with your friend?
I guess because you reply back.
Your friend is ignoring you?
Not ignoring. He has you.
I have a red flag here, and I'm gonna say it out loud, and maybe that will help to prompt you. The red flag is that you're treating me differently because I'm a girl.
No.
Am I easier to confront because I am a woman, and so I am less intimidating?
I don't think no, I don't think that's the reason.
Because I should be very intimidating. I am a scary, scary person.
No, but I guess I just I've dealt with him longer, and
so that makes him more difficult to confront? Or because you didn't actually think you had anything to confront him over?
Well, there I think usually I used to confront him all the time when we were in middle school and high school. I used to be very confrontal. I used to be very confrontal with him.
Confrontational, yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's.
Go on. Yes.
I guess that sums up right there.
You used to confront him, and now you don't?
No, what he says. Sum it up. What Athens says. I just go along with it.
Okay, and we understand that is problematic.
Yes.
And
says, I guess. Emily says, I'm guessing it's because you two have more parasocial relationship. Parasocial.
They're saying that you have a more parasocial relationship with me than you do with your friend.
What does that mean?
It means that there's degrees of separation. So, like, if you live around your friend or you've been around your friend for a long time, you can say things to your friend or you can say things to me that you can or can't get away with on the other side, right? So, like, if you think you have a really good friendship with me versus the friendship with your friend is maybe has a little bit more sandpaper to it because you're interacting with each other more directly. Don't get distracted by chat.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, what?
Yeah. Yes. The interacting with different people is different. Not
Right. Right.
But it's like I don't think it's because you're a guy, he's a girl. It's just
That's good. That's why I just said this is a red flag. Hopefully this is not the case, and I want to prompt you in a direction to hopefully help you out there because you're getting stuck. That it is not, it has, gender doesn't have anything to do with it. So that, if gender has nothing to do with it, which is good, can you explain to me what the difference is in confronting me versus confronting your friend who you don't want to confront? What about me or what about your friend?
Well, confronting you again. I didn't want it to become a whole flame war, and him is this.
But had you said nothing, what flame war would there be?
None.
Right. Now, and in having this conversation and saying out loud in public that you don't care about half the things your friend said and you ignore them 40% of the time, how much of that is going to be confrontational and potentially start a flame war?
None.
None?
For him, because he'll probably forget about it, or I'll forget. Just move on to a new topic.
So you're not gonna talk to your friend about this situation?
I have talked about my friend. This I've argued with my friend a lot.
Okay.
Like this past summer.
All right. About like, so I don't know what that has to do with like whether or not you're going to like. Do you mean you're just not talking with him right now?
I don't know, not really. I mean, he's helping. Actually, I am talking with him because he's helping me.
Yeah, that's what you had said before. You said you were still talking.
Because he's helping. I'm helping him build a music studio.
Okay. So you're still on good terms with your friend.
Yes.
Good. And so are you planning on talking to him about this particular circumstance and situation?
Of him talking about mansplaining Mario?
Yeah.
Yes, I'll show.
You don't have to. I'm not telling you that you need to. I'm just asking what you're like. What are you doing? What are you gonna do?
I guess.
You don't have to answer right now. You can say I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Are you going to do something? Because I mean, you have decisions to make, right? You can have a conversation with your friend about it and talk about what we've talked about, or you can talk about with your friend about how they're going to behave on your streams because you're clearly not comfortable with interrupting him when he goes on a rant. So maybe making him more cognizant of that, or how he treats guests when he comes onto your channel.
Yeah, usually when he's on my channel, it's usually a one-on-one thing. Okay,
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's a separate thing.
Okay.
What is usually going on doesn't really matter because we're talking about this scenario. So when this scenario comes up, then what? Right?
All I can really do is tell him what he did and hope that he can not do it again.
Oh, all right, if that's what your plan is. I mean, I don't know if that's the way I would put it or what I would do, but listen, he's your friend. You're the one who's got the thing. But he's causing you problems on your channel. And so that ends up being his behavior on your channel ends up with you having to deal with it or do something about it because it is your channel.
Yeah.
You know you can make consequences for your friend, right? You can say, hey, listen, this is a problem. If you do this on my channel, I can't have you on with guests anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it is your channel. I'm not telling you that you need to do that. I'm just telling you that this is your channel. You have control over what happens on it.
I guess they're trying to, like, I think they're explaining chat better than I can really.
Okay, so what are they saying?
Says you can have an honest conversation with them, walk around eggshells and stuff, and then it says fearing that one wrong step could mean an implosion.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it goes back to I am terrible at talking, explain something. Again, full circle. I'm going back to that.
Sure, but he's your friend, right? You've been friends since middle school. He should be able to, like, I mean, I'm able to sit here and have a conversation and kind of walk through things and understand what you're saying. And
yes, because we're walking through things.
Right. We've been on, 2-3 streams together and been in side chats together. I'm almost a stranger.
I guess I agree. I agree with your take on stuff more. I agree with his take, even though we've been friends longer. I agree with you more than I agree with him half the time. More than half the time.
What take of his are you agreeing with?
Music is good.
Oh, you mean like hobbies and like things? Sorry, when you said take, I was like, what?
Well, but
okay. Mm-hmm. Interests in common.
Yeah, interests be the same interest, but when it comes to, I guess, more political issues like that, I don't agree with him at all.
Okay. Well, that seems like a whole separate thing because I don't
Yeah.
think what we're talking about is a political issue. Like, mansplaining isn't a political issue. If you're making it a political issue, maybe there's like a whole other shit going on.
Not mansplaining.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this hobbies. I like talking with him about hobbies and stuff. But when it comes to anything besides that, we don't agree at all.
I mean, that's fine. You're allowed to have eclectic friends. I have friends that I don't agree with on stuff, but I don't understand how this has anything to do with like what I was asking. Because I was at like talking about what you can and can't do as a creator and what control you do and do not have on your channel versus like if you're going to talk to your friend about one thing or another, because at the end of the day, he's potentially like the worst case scenario that you imagined in your head was the result of him and and his behavior on your channel, right?
I need to not just ignore what he says and actually listen to what he says and to be more confrontational about it than I have been.
Well, there's a difference between you. Okay, so I feel like maybe we're crossing words on things like confrontational. Confronting someone doesn't mean you're being aggressive necessarily, right? Like I'm confronting you, we're having a confrontation. We disagree and agree, or there's understandings or there are misunderstandings, and there's an argument happening, but it's not like a yelly, I hate you, fuck you argument. It's not that kind of argument. It's a discussion, right? So you can confront your friend, but that doesn't mean you have to be a dick about it. Or pressure people into conversations they may or may not want to be having. But you need to know what you want out of the conversation and what you want out of the situation,
Yes.
right? So like you have to kind of go into the conversation with like a clear idea of what the problem is, why it's a problem, and what needs to change, and what the consequences are going to be moving forward one way or another. It's complicated, right?
Life usually is.
Uh-huh. So what do you think? What do you think the consequences are of this conversation? Where do we go from here? And then we'll wrap it up. So because I know you got stuff you got to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to be nice to people and drive through about an hour. Just well, today I learned that to know what you think that you're arguing about, not just assume it, and to be and to not and you to not different people react different people need different time or space to deal with issues. Like you need to calm down, and I'm like want to fix it right away issue, and I should be more interactive on my channel. I control it better, not let people do whatever they want to do.
What do you think about your approach was productive in resolving the issue?
Our issue?
Yes.
Listening your side?
Right, but that wasn't until today. I'm talking about your approach. Because you approached me on Twitter, in DMs, and in public. So what about your approach do you think was productive in resolution?
None of it.
Okay. So what would you change?
What do I change?
Like, what are you going to do instead? Like, next time something like this happens.
Try not to make a public deal about it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I don't personally mind getting criticism in public. I don't. That's not the conversation in public is a pretty non-issue for me personally. I mean, other people aren't going to have that opinion. I don't personally mind that you said something publicly to be like, hey, what the fuck? That's sure. But it sounds to me like you're not sure about what to do, or like how to approach.
I'm not sure about a lot of things.
Well, I mean, you know, what are you sure about from this conversation?
You're nice.
Oh, I'm awful. What do you mean? Got that completely wrong.
You're not, no. Compared to people I deal with at work or at home or at school or when I went to church, you're nice.
Thanks. Okay. So I think we mostly understand the concepts about what's gone on. I think we can keep an eye out. I might recommend this might be a video you should rewatch. That might be a good idea, and you can kind of see and see if you kind of like are able to you know what I say, see if you understand the first time versus like, you know what I mean, like just kind of restock.
Yes.
Take some time, think about it, relax.
Yes.
I don't mean watch it right now.
Like, put on. I'm gonna go put it on a loop on my earpods.
Oh God, no. No.
But yeah, yes, I think you are nice compared to people I've dealt with in my past. You are like you're up there and and relatability.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do try.
I
just
don't-
psych
don't know if
myself
that-
up for this kind of conversation.
Yeah, I don't know if that means you're awesomely good or people I've dealt with are terrible.
Sounds like the
people.
people you're around are like just bottom tier garbage bin dumpster assholes. Send them to me, I'll set them straight. All right, let's wrap up. We'll get on out of here. We'll keep an eye on Vandalia. You can see his links down below. I'll add his Twitter down there, so if you're interested in seeing how maybe this conversation helps moving forward with anything like this, my best recommendation that I can give is don't pressure people. Let them come to you. It's okay. And nobody hates you. Like, nobody's mad. It's okay. So let's get on out of here. You have anything else you want to say?
Not really, unless you want. Unless you want to know what's going on in my channel.
Oh, you're gonna invite me on the channel. Okay. Well, we can.
Not invite you unless you want to. Unless anybody wants to know what's going on my channel.
Oh, yeah,
in the
shill.
future.
Yeah, shill. Go for it.
See, this Saturday I'm talking about the Chainsaw Massacre series. Tuesday I'm talking about the history of Australia. Wednesday we're talking about Love and Thunder, Thor: Love and Thunder, and next Saturday, the emblem, in the beat here is going to be talking about Vikings in England.
Very cool. Vikings in England is a hell of a lot of fun. I will be back on Tuesday with whatever I'm talking about on Tuesday, and I will also be back on Wednesday. We're going to be looking at AAI with the Free Thought Profit guys on Wednesday for another debate hub. So join us for that. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good weekend, everybody. It's Friday. Go get a drink. Woo!
Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday.
Hello.
Welcome back to Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk. Yay.
Don't Fekk Friday.
Don't Fekk. Yay.
Don't Fekk Friday.